Hello everyone. So in this video I am going to explain about the excretions. So in which is a part of a pharmacokinetics. So how the excretion of a drug will happen in our, how a drug is excreted from our body. So for the removal of a drug out of our body, the major excretory organ, I am telling you, major excretory organ of our body is kidney. So kidney is the major excretory organ of our body, and we all know the functional unit of kidney is the nephrons. So as the we know that there are lipid soluble drug and the water soluble drug, in other form, non ionized form and ionized form of a drug. So both these drugs were filtered by the glomerulus. Why the glomerulus filters lipid soluble and water soluble? Because the glomerulus is perforated, pores are there in the glomerulus through which these drugs are filtered. But in the glomerulus, as pores are there, but the size of these pores are small. So pore size are small, means the small size drug can filtered. But as we all know, there is plasma protein binding drugs. If the proteins get binded with the drug, then its size become increase and it is unable to filter from the glomerulus. So a big drug cannot cross the glomerulus filtration membrane. So now our next point, that the lipid soluble drug, next point about the lipid soluble drug, that lipid soluble drug reabsorb again and again. Why they are reabsorbing again and again? Because lipid soluble means they can easily corrode the membrane. So as they get excreted from the tubules, they again reabsorbed. So reabsorption is occurring again and again in the lipid soluble drug, while in the water soluble drug they cannot reabsorb. Once they filters from the glomerulus, they did not reabsorb back from the kidney. Now the next point, I am giving you one example. So here the example is like aspirin. So as we all know, aspirin is a acidic drug. So it is reabsorb again and again. Why it is reabsorbing again and again? Because first one, it is the acidic drug, and the second one, the urine is also acidic, means drug can absorb where the medium is same, means the drug is also acidic and the medium where it is present, that is also acidic, then it is reabsorbed. So it is reabsorbed. So for removing the aspirin, we have to change the medium. Either we can't change the medium of the drug, but we change the medium where it is present at that time. So how we can remove the aspirin toxicity? So we can remove the aspirin toxicity by making the urine alkaline, or we can say by changing the urine medium. So how we can change the medium? So if we have to change the urine medium, we can use either acidic or a basic compound to change the medium of the urine. If aspirin is an acidic drug, so we have to make the urine basic. If some basic drug is present in the urine, then it is normally it is not reabsorbed back, because urine is acidic and the drug is basic. So for the aspirin, we need the basic compound to change the urine acidity. So the basic compound is sodium bicarbonate. Please remember it. We give sodium carbonate to change the medium of the urine. So we are changing, means it is not happen automatically. We are trying to remove that aspirin from our body. So this is forced. So this is known as forced alkaline diuresis. Forced alkaline diuresis means we are giving the alkaline compounds and we are doing the we are removing forcefully that drug from the kidney. So this is known as forced alkaline diuresis. Now the another example, like some drugs are also, so the next point is that there is tubular secretion also occur. So some drugs were directly secreted into the urine by the tubular secretions. So tubular secretion. So tubular secretion means some drugs are secreted from the tubules into the urine. So means some drugs are using pump to exit outside. So at these pumps, like these pumps also work like only at a time only one drug can pass through these pumps. So here I am going to explain it with one example, that is the penicillin. So penicillin, as we all know, penicillin have a short acting, like it is acting like 2 to 3 hours because it is secreted by the tubules. So but how we can increase the penicillin duration, penicillin half life? Like it's have one competitive inhibitor, that is probenecid. That is probenecid means if we give probenecid with penicillin, then because the only pass only one drug at a particular time. So in these competitive inhibition, what will happen, in place of the penicillin, the pump remove out the probenecid. So probenecid drug is removing out by the tubular secretion, and in this case the penicillin duration will increase and penicillin half life will increase. So this is the concept about the tubular secretion, that we can give the competitive inhibitor of that particular drug to make the drug half life increase. So this is all about the excretion. Now how we can calculate the elimination of a drug? So the next is the rate of elimination. So rate of elimination, so how we can calculate it, means how many drugs is get eliminated from our body. So for this we have formula, that how much drug is eliminated, how much drug eliminated upon in how much time that drug is eliminated, and how much time. So this is the formula for rate of elimination, means the termination of a drug. Now the next formula is the clearance, that is clearance. For clearance we have formula, that is rate of elimination upon में plasma concentration. How rate of elimination is calculated by this formula, and clearance is calculated by rate of elimination upon में plasma concentration. This is the formula of the clearance. Now the next point about the extraction ratio. Extraction ratio means that how much drug is extracted from the organ, from how much drug is entering. So let me explain it. So extraction ratio, how we can calculate the extraction ratio? Extraction ratio is like how much drug is extracted by the organ from how much drug is entering. Means if we give 100 molecules of a drug, so suppose from it like 80 molecules get extracted, but 20 is still in the body, means 20 is still in the body. So how we can calculate the extraction ratio? Means we give the 100 molecules, out of which 80 molecules were extracted and the total molecules were the 100, means the 20 molecules were still there in our body. So in it, if we calculate it, so this is the formula for extraction ratio, means how much drug is extracted by the organ from how much drug is entering. So in this, the drug entering is 100 molecules and the drug extracted is 80. So these were the formula for the extraction ratio. That is, the formula is concentration of drug in artery minus concentration of drug in vein upon में total concentration of given in the artery. So this is the formula for the extraction ratio. Now the next one, as we all know, the first pass metabolism is high in. I already tell you about the mnemonic, that is the drug whose have first pass metabolism high. First pass metabolism high. So first pass metabolism is in 3 drugs. The name of those drugs were LPG. The mnemonic is LP, and G. Here the L stands for the lignocaine, L stands for lignocaine, P for propanol, which is a beta blocker, and G for nitroglycerin. G is for nitroglycerin. So this is the mnemonic whose have first pass metabolism high. And if the metabolism is high, we all know the bioavailability is poor. So the poor bioavailability. So These three drugs have poor bioavailability and high first pass metabolism. Now the next topic which we are discussing here is the half-life. Half-life. What do we mean by the half-life of a drug? So half-life means time in which the plasma concentration becomes half. So half-life means the in which time the plasma concentration is becoming half, that is the half-life. But half-life does not tell about the dose of a drug. So it does not tell us about the dose of drug. Please remember it because it is very important. It does not tell us about the dose of a drug, that how much dose of a drug should we give, but it tell about the dosing interval, like half life. It tells about the plasma concentration in which at what time the plasma concentration becoming half. So it tells about the time in which plasma concentration becomes half, but it does not tells us about the dose of a drug. Please remember it, it is very important. Does not tell us about the dose of a drug, it tells about the plasma concentration in which time it becomes the half. So suppose we are giving 100 molecules of a drug. So here I am explaining it with one example. Suppose we give 100 molecules of a drug. So in the next t half, its concentration become half. This is we mean by the half life. The plasma concentration become half. So this is the t half time in which its concentration becoming half. So the half of 100 is 50. Now the next half life of 50 is 25, means again in the t half time the plasma concentration become 25. In the next it becomes like 12.5. In the next t half it becomes 6.25, and so on, like this. This is the half life, means plasma concentration is becoming half in the half life. So here if I will give you one question that suppose in the t half, like t half of a drug is 6 hour, t half of a drug is 6 hour, and we have to calculate that how much drug is present in plasma after 24 hours in one day, after 24 hours. So after 24 hours, how much drug present in plasma, how much drug present in plasma, we have to calculate this. So how we will calculate? So in 24 hours the drug half life is 6, means we have to check 4 half life. So here this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, means the plasma at that particular time after one day it is the amount 6.25, and this is the amount of the plasma concentration the drug is present in the plasma. So how we calculate that for like 24 hours is the total time of a drug. After that we have to check. So half life is 6 hours, means the drug concentration becoming half in 6 hours. So suppose here is 6 hours, in 6 hours it becomes 50, again in 6 hours it become 25, means after 12 hours it become 25, in the next 6 hours it become 12.5, and in the next 6 hours it becomes the 6.25, means after 24 hours, like 6 to the 12, 6 to the 18, 6 4 the 24, means after 24 hours it concentration in the plasma is 6.25. And if I asked you how much drug is eliminated from body, so how much drug is eliminated from body, how we can calculate it from body? So we can calculate it by, we give the 100 molecules of that drug na, and now only 6.25 is present in the plasma. It means how much is eliminated. So we subtract from the 6.25 from 100 minus 6.25, and the outcome is 93.75% drug is eliminated from our body. So this is the concept of the half life. And in the half life, how we can calculate the t half life? So here we have one formula also. So we can calculate t half by, because t half is directly proportional to the volume of distribution upon inversely proportional to the clearance. So it comes like t half is equal to 0.693 into volume of distribution upon my clearance. So this is the formula for the T half. Now in the next topic I am explaining you about the order of the kinetics. We have the first order kinetics and the zero order kinetics. For order of kinetics, we have first order and we have the zero order kinetics. So how we can differentiate that it is first order or it is zero order kinetics? I will tell you one mnemonic for the zero order kinetics, except all the zero order kinetics all are in comes under the first order of kinetics. So in the first order of kinetics, we have to remember that in the first order of kinetics, the fraction is constant. The fraction is constant. While in the zero order kinetics, the amount is constant. The amount is constant. While in the first order, the fraction is constant, amount is not constant. While in the zero order kinetics, amount is constant and fraction is not constant. So fraction means in the same time, same percentage of a drug is eliminated. So what do we mean by fraction? Fraction means in the particular same time, same amount of drug is eliminated. How we can understand it? Let us explain. Let me tell you about with example. So how we can explain that fraction is constant? So suppose here the molecules of a drug is 100 molecules. So in the T half, like in the 1 hour, the molecules become 50, and again in the next 1 hour molecules become 25, and again in the next 1 hour molecules become 12.5. So here how we calculate the fraction? So here the remaining molecules of a drug is 50, total molecules we give is 100. So that in 1 hour, so it comes like half. So here the fraction is half, here also the fraction is half, here also the fraction is half. So this is the fraction is the constant. While in the amount, in the zero order kinetics, amount is constant, mean the same amount is excreted in particular half life. In every time only the same amount is extracted. Like if 20 molecules are removing, then continuously 20 molecules will remove. So this is the amount. Let me tell you with example. Suppose in here also we give 100 molecules, and in 1 hour 80 molecules were left, and again in 1 hour 60 molecules, like from 60 molecules were there. Again in the next 1 hour it remains like 40. So here what is going on? Here the fraction is not constant. How we can calculate? Like 80 by 1 hour upon my 100. So it like one bowl, how much is extracted? Like 100 minus 80, that is the 100 minus 80, only 20 molecules were extracted, and the total molecules given were 100. So it comes like 1 by 5. For this, like 80 minus 60, it's 30. 20, sorry, 80 minus 60 is 20, upon my total molecules which were there is 80. So it comes like 1 by 4. So here the fraction is not constant as we see here, but here the fraction is constant. And how we can calculate fraction? Fraction, that is how much drug we give minus how much is there upon my total amount of that drug. So here the fraction is not constant as we see here. In here 1 by 5 fraction is there, here 1 by 4 fraction is there, and here also like 20 upon 40, that is half. So fraction is not constant, but the amount. In first time 20 molecules were removed, and again in the next time 20 molecules were removed, and again in the next time 20 molecules were removed, means the amount is constant which is removing. So here the amount is constant in the zero order kinetics, while in the first order kinetics fraction is constant. So, and let me write here all the things. So for the first order kinetics, rate is directly proportional to the plasma concentration. Here the clearance is constant. Here the clearance is constant, and T half is also constant. T half is constant. While in the zero order kinetics, rate is not constant. Rate of elimination is not constant, and the clearance is inversely proportional to the plasma concentration. Means in plasma concentration clearance is opposite, and T half is directly proportional to PC. So this is about the first order and zero order kinetics. and all drugs follow the first order kinetics, but some drugs were there who follows the zero order kinetics. So let me tell you one mnemonic, that those drugs which follow zero order kinetics, except these drugs, all drugs were following the first order kinetics. So zero order kinetics, and except these, all follows first order kinetics. So it's better to learn those drugs which follow the zero order kinetics. So for the mnemonic for zero order kinetic is 0 watt power. 0 watt power. So 0 means zero order kinetics. W stands for the warfarin. W is for warfarin. A is for alcohol and aspirin. A is for alcohol and aspirin. T is for theophylline. T is for theophylline. Next T is for tolbutamide. Tolbutamide. P is for phenytoin. P is for phenytoin. So these were the 5 drugs which follow the zero order kinetics, and the mnemonic for these drugs were 0 watt power. 0 watt power. W stands for warfarin, alcohol, aspirin, theophylline, tolbutamide and phenytoin. These drugs follow the zero order kinetics. So now the another concept about that. Now I am going to tell you about the other concept, that is the steady state. So steady state. Steady state means the steady means the balance is there, means the plasma concentration remains the same. So steady state means the plasma concentration remains the same. How it is same? Because the rate of administration and rate of elimination is constant, is equal, not constant. So rate of administration is equal to rate of elimination. So this is we mean by the steady state, that is rate of administration is equal to rate of elimination. Now we have the after how much time steady state will be achieved on, and which factor it will depend. So it will depend on the 4th to 5th T half life. So it depends on 4th to 5th T half life, and what will be the plasma concentration at steady state, and how much dose. So it will how much dose is given per time, means dosing rate. So and the giving drug is giving intermittently, means intermittently is giving a drug. So the curves will look like this one, and it is depending on dosing interval frequently, means peak and trough were there, peak and trough vary there. So this is all about the steady state plasma concentration. Now one most important graph which comes that is plasma concentration versus time graph. So the plasma concentration versus time graph. So in this graph we have to learn the points, like what is Tmax. Tmax stands for what, Cmax stands for what, and AUC means what, and so like this we have to learn. So here it is plasma concentration, and here is the time. So suppose we give one drug, and that drug has T maximum, its concentration is maximum. So C maximum is there, means C maximum is depends on the dose of a drug. So C max depend on dose of drug, how what amount we give. So Cmax depends on the dose of a drug, while the Tmax depends on the rate of absorption. What is the rate of absorption of a drug? So Tmax depends on the rate of absorption, and the area under this is known as area under curve, means how much drug is came, means extent of absorption. So it tells about the extent of absorption, means how much amount of drug is absorbed. This is the area under curve. And here in this we have these two, that it is this one represent the maximum tolerable concentration, while this one is the minimum effective concentration. So at what time means rate of absorption is maximum, and where it depend on the dosage of a drug. So Tmax, we have to remember what does Tmax represent. So Tmax represent the rate of absorption. So here we notice that as the time is increasing, the concentration of that drug is decreasing, means the concentration Cmax it is present in plasma concentration, so Cmax is going to decrease, plasma concentration is decreasing as the time is increasing. So here from this graph one thing is clear, that is T maximum is inversely proportional to the rate of absorption. As the time is increasing, rate of absorption of that drug is decreasing. So here as we see, as the time is increasing, the rate of absorption of that drug is decreasing, it is decreasing. So Tmax inversely proportional to the rate of absorption. So here the question is, Tmax stands for rate of absorption and Cmax stands for depend on dose of drug. Cmax means concentration depends on the dose of drug. Plasma concentration depends on dose of drug. If we give more concentration, more drug, then the concentration should be higher in the blood. So Cmax depends on the doses of a drug, while the Tmax depends on the rate of absorption. These two questions were important from this graph. And that's all for this video. I hope you get benefit from this video. Thank you. Bye bye guys.